Who cares what's happening on your TV screen? The most important thing was right in front of you. One of them was an infant baby, and the other one was outside drowning in the pool for 2 minutes, and you did absolutely nothing about it besides sit there and watch your game so that you can make sure that you won your bet. I hope that you're satisfied. Trigg was in the backyard from 1829 until Brady found him in the pool at 1839. So first of all, Brady didn't find him in the pool. The dog found him in the pool. So poor Trigg was in the water from 1832 until 1839. So 7 minutes he was in the water. 2 minutes of that he was trying to swim. He's hopeless. And he's trying to swim and he's hopeless. And he just needs a parent to be a parent and not care about a Knicks game and not care about a bet that you just... Why?
She was spinning on a thin black sheet of glass. She saw both the lights flash before her eyes. She didn't even have time to cry. She was so...
Trigg KISER was found in the pool by his father, Brady KISER. Emilie KISER is a mom influencer who had her children on the internet frequently. She is known for all of her posts on TikTok, on Instagram. She has over 4 million followers. She was out of the house at the time of the drowning. But let's read this police report. This is my first time reading it. I have strong opinions. I've heard some of the information that's in here, but I have not read it directly myself. So I have some opinions on this, and I have some obviously strong opinions on influencing with regards to children. At 6:40 p.m., Chandler police were dispatched to the report of a drowning. The party's son was in the pool, was unconscious and not breathing. The son was reported to be 3 years old. The policeman that wrote this up observed a small male toddler laying motionless on the ground in between the couch and the bar stools in the living room. I would immediately run over to the toddler who appeared to have a lack of color in his skin and unconscious. The toddler did not appear to be breathing, and I also observed a large wet spot on the ground around the toddler. I also observed what appeared to be vomit on the ground around the head region of the toddler. Upon reaching the toddler, I immediately began giving chest compressions to the toddler. The male on scene who left officers inside was extremely distraught. And that's Brady KISER. While I continued to give compressions to the unconscious toddler, officers attempted to garner further information about the incident from the male. Officers were able to receive the male. Officers were able to receive that the male subject had last seen the toddler approximately 5 minutes before the incident. So that timing is going to be key in this. So keep with me here. We're going to dive deep into all this information, okay? And remember, Brady KISER they did recommend that have charges pressed against him with regards to this incident. So let's read further and you'll see the conflicting statements. I was directed to get a towel for the firefighters, so I went to the nearest bathroom and provided Chandler Fire with one located in a nearby bathroom. By this time, my supervisor arrived on the scene as well as other assisting officers. As the other assisting officers, so he learned that at 1841 hours, a 911 call was received from Brady KISER in Chandler. The male caller, which is Brady, indicated that he had found 3-year-old in the pool and he was currently unresponsive. Emergency personnel arrived on the scene and immediately transported the child to the hospital. All family members left the residence to be with the child, leaving nobody at the residence. The residence was secured as a crime scene, and nobody was permitted to enter the residence. Upon entering the residence, you enter a small foyer area and then proceed to the west into a great room to the south of the kitchen and to the north. Between these rooms, I observed a wet t-shirt that was tan in color. Also present were a couple of dry blankets. On the tile floor, these items were located. I observed vomit. It was apparent that this was where the child was taken after being removed from the pool. The residence had 4 access points leading to the backyard. 4. 4 access points leading from inside the house to the backyard, which is crazy that they did not have a pool. They did not have a pool. They did not have the pool cover on. And you have 4 access points. One's enough where you should have a pool cover and a pool fence. But 4? Okay. So there's large 4-panel sliding doors. These doors were located at the west end of the great room and led to the back patio. The main sliding door containing the locking mechanism was located on the north end. The handle measured between 33 inches and 37 inches from the floor. The locking mechanism measured between 38 inches and 41 inches from the floor. So the main sliding door containing the locking mechanism was located on the north end. The handle measures between 33 inches and 37 inches from the floor. This is 37 inches from the floor. So first of all, okay. So this is, it's hard to see, but this is, so I'm sitting down, I'm 5'8". Let's see what this looks like. So this comes up to my waist right here. So that's where the door handle was, which is, I'm looking at my other door handle, is a typical door handle height, which it's not above. I know you can have some door handles that are higher up, especially with homes that have pools in the back. They will have a door handle higher up for safety reasons, or they will have 2. This one had the regular height door handle, which depending on how tall Trigg was, you can see in the photo, which I will link right here, you can see in the photo, he can easily grab that, and he has been known to let the dogs outside. The locking mechanism measured between 38 inches and 41 inches from the floor, so just a couple inches above the actual door handle. The door was unlocked and opened with little effort. The door was not self-closing or self-latching. On this floor, there was an alarm. On this door, there was an alarm system. When the door opened, the alarm did not sound. Are you kidding me? So you had an alarm system for your one of your doors, one of 4. You had an alarm system, but the alarm was not set. The door wasn't locked. It was at a height that Trigg could reach, and the alarm was not set. Okay. Let's look at the next door, the breakfast nook door. This door was an outward opening glass door. The handle was a lever style handle that measured 41 inches to 42 inches from the floor. So it's just a little bit higher, probably about 4 inches higher than the other, a little bit probably waist level versus up to my hip. The deadbolt measured 39 inches from the floor, so that's under the handle. The deadbolt was under the handle. This door was also equipped with an alarm. The alarm did not sound when the door opened. Are you kidding me? So now we have 2 doors that had alarms. So you have the safety mechanism in place, or a mechanism to hear if somebody came in and out of those doors, but you're not utilizing that mechanism. This door did not shut properly and did not lock. The door was not self-closing. It appears to be malfunctioning at the time. Okay, so if you have a door that's malfunctioning, it doesn't matter how many doors. You have one door that's malfunctioning and you don't have the alarm set on it. Why was the pool cover not on the pool? Why? They have a huge house. I'll do an overview again, and you will see they have this big house. Why was the pool cover not on? Okay. Master bedroom, south entrance of the residence. This door was an outward opening glass door. The handle was a lever style handle and measured 42 inches to 43 inches from the floor, so a little bit higher again. The deadbolt measured 39 inches from the floor, which the deadbolt was below the actual handle. The door was not self-closing. This door was also equipped with an alarm. The alarm did not sound when the door opened. Okay, we have 4 doors now. 3 of them do not have the alarm. The alarm was not set. 3 out of the 4 doors. Then we have a guest bedroom door. This door was an outward opening glass door in the guest bedroom, which was attached to the guest bedroom. The handle was a lever style handle that measured 42 inches to 43 inches from the floor. The deadbolt measured 38 inches from the floor. The door was not self-closing. The door was also equipped with an alarm. The alarm did not sound when the door opened. Okay. All 4 doors had an alarm. There was a mechanism in place to hear if somebody went in and out of the door, and that alarm was not set. Within the residence, I noticed a plate of pancakes on the sofa in the great room. A box of similar Belgian-style pancakes was located on the kitchen island. Next to the plate, there was a white handheld gaming system. It appeared that this was where the 3-year-old child had once sat. Between the kitchen and the breakfast nook, I observed bar stools. The stools were aligned in such a manner that it appeared they were placed to block access between the great room and the breakfast nook, while the outward opening door was located. It was unknown whether that was on purpose or not. So where the door that was malfunctioning, there were bar stools that were lined up, it seems as though, to actually block access. So here's a thought. It's called a child gate. Okay? It's called a child gate. There's no way a 3-year-old can get around bar stools. They can climb in under them. They can move them with their arms. They can do multiple things to get around these bar stools. Not to mention you have 3 other doors that you need to protect. I don't even know if I can read more of this. I entered the backyard and noticed a large rectangular diving pool that measured 22 feet wide by 45 feet long. It's a huge pool. The hot tub area was elevated above the pool, and there were stairs on the north and south sides to access this area. The temperature of the hot tub was 91 degrees. On the east side of the pool was a large lounge area, sometimes referred to as Baja Shelf. The depth of the water in this area was 17 inches deep. There were 2 steps leading onto the shelf. The depth of the steps was 5.5 inches deep. The pool temperature was measured at 81 degrees. On the southwest portion of the pool, I observed a large netting and fabric top rolled up onto PVC carriers. These were covers for the pool that were not in use at the time. First of all, there are multiple videos that Emilie posted online where the pool covers were not specifically there. A lot of people called her out for not having a pool fence, and she deleted those comments off of her platform. And I will show you those pictures, at least 2 pictures that I could see where there was not a pool cover on that pool. It only takes 1 time for a child to drown. Most of the time, having a pool cover and having the pool cover on, most of the time is not good enough. Prime example here. Not to mention, the pool cover was recently removed so the family could enjoy the pool. Okay, so the family could enjoy the pool. Emilie was not home. Brady was watching the game, and he had Theodore and he had Trigg. Nobody was using the pool. When you're not using the pool, you put a pool cover on, or you get a pool fence that automatically locks so you don't have to worry about it if you're not going to put a pool cover. On the north end of the yard, there was a large inflatable in the grass area. There was a small amount of water in the basin. Throughout the backyard, I observed a large number of kids' toys. The toys were placed throughout the yard and even at the bottom of the pool and the hot tub. You're kidding me. You don't think a child is going to want to go grab for that toy in the bottom of the pool and in the bottom of the hot tub? No pool gate or barrier was in place at the time. As indicated above, safety netting identified was catch a kid, and it was present but not in use. After this warrant, a copy of the warrant was left on the kitchen table. Nothing of evidentiary value was seized. Only photographs and measurements were obtained. Emilie wasn't home when the incident occurred, so I asked her to not participate in the interview while I spoke to Brady. So this is Brady's statement. The conversation with Brady was an audio recording using my Axon body camera. I asked Brady to tell me about his whole day starting from when he woke up. The following is a summary of Brady's statement. Brady woke up around 7 a.m., made breakfast for Trigg for blank before taking him to school. He stopped on his way home to pick up coffee for himself and Emilie. After getting home, Brady went to the gym for a workout. He then did some stuff around the house before it was time to pick up Trigg. Around 2:15 to 2:20, Brady left to pick up Trigg and stopped at McDonald's on the way home. They arrived back home around 4:30 p.m. and the four of them spent time at the house until Emilie left at 6 p.m. to go out with friends for the night. After Emilie left, Brady made Trigg dinner as he fed Theodore a bottle. Trigg finished his dinner and went into the backyard. So he's saying here he finished his dinner and he went into the backyard. Brady was sitting on the back chair that pointed out to the backyard, out through the back windows, because while I was holding Theodore, I wanted to be able to see Trigg. Okay. Trigg was seen on the grass area of the backyard, which you'll see. No, this isn't true. This is conflicting evidence with video surveillance. Trigg was seen in the grass area of the backyard near a blow-up slide playhouse, and Brady saw him walk from the area to the grass upon the elevated portion where the hot tub was at. Okay, if he's walking up towards the water, why are you allowing him to do that? That is where I had seen him last. Okay, that's where you saw him last and you just left him there? Come on, you don't leave a kid outside near water. After seeing Trigg near the hot tub, Brady thought he went and got a drink. You don't know? He then went back to see where Trigg was at. Brady went outside and saw Trigg in the water. How long did it take you to get a drink of water? Which we'll find out. It was not 5 minutes. It was not 3 minutes. It wasn't moments. It was not 5 minutes. He then went back to see where Trigg was at. And Brady then went outside and saw Trigg in the water. So he laid Theodore on the ground, took his shirt off, and dove in the... Again, why are you see your child in the pool? Are you seriously going to just take your shirt off? Why not just dive right in? After pulling Trigg from the pool, Brady carried him inside and laid him on the ground. He then started CPR, including breathing into Trigg's mouth. When he did that, Trigg vomited water and food. Wow, poor thing. I can't even imagine. Brady said that this CPR activity and calling 911 all happened in the same moments. When police arrived, they took over CPR. Brady went outside and was thoroughly freaking out. After Trigg left in an ambulance, Brady gathered a few things and then went to the hospital in a fire truck. I clarified that Brady knew Trigg was outside. He told me when he got up from eating to go outside. I said, okay, I was aware of it. So Brady knew that Trigg was still outside. Brady again mentioned that he was watching out the back window and said, I don't have a clock, obviously. I don't know the exact time. but it was moments, it wasn't minutes. I asked Brady about the 5-minute statement he made to the patrol on scene. He said that he has told different people 3 minutes or 5 minutes, but wasn't sure the exact timing and said it wasn't very long. But it doesn't matter, honestly. If your child's, whether it's 3 minutes, 5 minutes, your child's in the pool for any amount of time, it is not a good situation. Brady and I discussed the layout of the backyard, the elevated tub, and where Trigg was found in the pool. He described finding Trigg in the water below the elevated hot tub and diving across the pool to get to him. It became clear that this elevated area around the hot tub is a common spot for Trigg to play, and he plays in the backyard often. Brady said there were toys in that area and Trigg plays in the backyard all the time throughout the day with us all day. He's out there with the dogs. He's in and out. It's what he does. Okay. Even in and out, you put a pool cover, fence around your pool or a pool cover. And yes, there are images of him playing by that hot tub. You don't leave him out there by that hot tub. Brady described a pool cover the family has, but he didn't put it on because the pool service company was coming at noon on Tuesday. So the 12th was on a Monday. So they were coming. The pool company was coming the next day at noon. So you don't put a pool cover on your pool because the pool company is coming. Doesn't make sense the next day. But you're home alone watching your infant and your 3-year-old son, but you can't put a pool cover on. But you can place a bet on a game. And we're going to get into that. But come on. It's pretty obvious why Emilie did not want this information out. Brady said he was planning on putting the pool cover on after the service. Obviously, after the service doesn't work. Due to the discrepancies between Brady's initial statement and what was seen on the surveillance video, police asked Brady to come in again for a second interview. So Brady did come into the police station, and he did have a second interview with his attorney present this time. So let's go ahead and let's read what happened. This will start from when Emilie left the house around 6:10 p.m. Brady was feeding the infant, and then he also made mini pancakes for Trigg, and they went and sat on the couch while Brady was feeding the infant baby. After he ate, he went to the back door. This is Trigg. And then I had seen that and I looked out to try to locate him and seen him. And then he returned to feeding. So he returned to feeding his infant son. Brady said he was focused on his 5-week-old baby because he was feeding him and Theodore was getting sleepy. He told the police officer, after I located Trigg, I returned to feeding him and doing the things I just explained. Brady then looked outside and saw the dog looking down at the pool and had a poor feeling as soon as I saw it. And it was out of the ordinary to see him standing there and looking in the water as he was. So I stood up and I immediately went out there. So the dog, sounds like the dog found Trigg before anything else. I asked Brady about his statement that he looked out when Trigg first went outside and what he saw. He claimed he saw Trigg off on the grass by the diving board. I challenged Brady about the statement because Trigg never went to the grass area. So this is interesting. So based on the surveillance video, Trigg never went to the grass area. Brady then responded, "That's the best of my recollection." So then the officer stressed that he was telling me I stressed that what he was telling me and what was on the video were two different things. Brady responded by saying, "I truly have nothing that I'm trying to withhold or hide in any way, shape, or form. All I've ever tried to do is recount to the best of my ability what occurred." He recognized that he didn't know exactly what happened with Trigg outside and again stressed that he watched the kids, but at the time was focused on Theodore. We spoke for several minutes about the time Trigg was outside, which was about 10 minutes. and what Brady was doing during that time. He insisted he wasn't on his phone and that even though the baseball game was on TV, his main focus was on my baby. Well, your main focus should be on your baby and possibly the person also that's outside, your little 3-year-old son outside with a pool that doesn't have a fence or doesn't have a cover. I went over several discrepancies between Brady's initial statement and what actually happened. I mentioned to Brady that the last place he saw Trigg was playing on the hot tub on the platform, and I told him that's impossible. Brady responded, that part was once again me trying to recall anything and everything, and obviously I had seen him go up there many times before, so I think it was truly me trying to offer up as much information as I could. Brady asked for details of what Trigg did when he went outside, and I told him. After I gave him the details, I told him that he previously stated he was sitting in the chairs that looked toward the backyard, but he wasn't sitting there. Wow. Okay, so initially Brady said he was sitting in the chairs facing the backyard. However, camera D06 was pointed onto those chairs, and he was not there. So then Brady responded, I was sitting on the couch. Okay, so now he's sitting on the couch. So you weren't facing outwards. You're now sitting on the couch. You're facing the TV. And to the right is where the sliding glass door is, which is probably where Trigg went out. There are 4 exits, remember. But that's probably where he went out. So you're focused this way. You're not focused this way. Okay. Got it. Later in the conversation, I asked for details about Trigg going outside. Brady had previously stated that he knew Trigg was outside, so I asked for the details about the interaction before Trigg went outside. Brady said there wasn't much to it. He loved to be outside. He loved to play outside. And so in my mind, it was just that of him going and doing as he routinely had done other times going out to play. The difference was I was the only parent home. Okay. So when there is a gap, when you're the only parent home, and first of all, you're the only parent home, that's not the difference. The difference is that you weren't watching him. That's the difference. Somebody wasn't watching him. Okay. He claimed that he usually goes out with Trigg when Emilie is home. Okay, so Emilie's not home, so you bridge the gap and you make sure Trigg stays with you at all times, or you pick up your infant and you can walk out with him. You can walk and feed at the same time. You don't have to sit down and feed your son. He then stated, I thought honestly that it was harmless for him. He's just digging himself deeper. It was harmless for him to do that because it was not per se out of the ordinary. He reiterated that it was common for Trigg to go in the backyard, but a parent usually accompanied him. Usually. Why would you usually have a child accompany you? Somebody should be with Trigg at all times. Any child that's outdoor that is near water should be with an adult at all times. Brady said that Catch a Kid was regularly on the pool. Okay. I don't even know why you're even mentioning this because it wasn't on the pool. Usually it's on the pool is completely different from always being on the pool. I asked how often Trigg goes outside unsupervised, and Brady claimed it's definitely not the norm, but there have been times where he would be outside. I don't have an exact answer. Okay, the exact answer should be 0. He should not go outside by himself without somebody watching him and seeing what he is doing. This is a very large pool, a very large backyard. As the interview was concluding, I asked Brady if there was anything else he could remember about the 10 minutes Trigg was outside. He told me he didn't remember where the swaddle was or if he had to go to the room to retrieve it. As we were wrapping up, I told Brady, it's clear that for 10 minutes you didn't look outside. His attorney asked, why do you say that? I told him that Trigg was next to the pool. You're kidding me. Trigg was next to the pool for 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and then trying to swim for 2 more minutes. So he was by a pool for 2 minutes. Then he was trying to swim for another 2 minutes, which is a very long time to sit and try to swim. Wow. And you didn't notice. So 4 minutes have gone past and you didn't notice this. Brady lowered his head when I told him, and eventually he said he's only tried to recall and recount the experience, what he experienced. So he obviously was coached by his attorney. He stressed several times that he's doing his best to be open and honest, and there was no outside distraction other than my newborn baby. Yeah, the game was on. He then stated that he was connecting with his newborn baby. No, you were connecting with the game that you just spent $25 to get a bet and you won. We'll get into that. Conclusion. The tragic incident was a result of Trigg being in the backyard unsupervised while playing outdoor in the unsecured pool and area, unable to swim. And we're going to get to Brady's phone records as well. We haven't even touched that yet. It's clear from the video that he did not go into the water intentionally. Rather, he tripped and fell while playing with an inflatable chair. Trigg was in the backyard from 1829 until Brady found him in the pool at 1839. So first of all, Brady didn't find him in the pool. The dog found him in the pool, okay? Dog found him in the pool. So poor Trigg was in the water from 1832 until 1839. So for 2 minutes of that, so 7 minutes he was in the water. 2 minutes of that, he was trying to swim. And he's hopeless. And he's trying to swim and he's hopeless. And he just needs a parent to be a parent and not care about a Knicks game and not care about a bet that you just... Why even bet on a game? This is the thing. Why bet on a game? You're at home watching your 2 kids. Why are you sitting and betting on a game? Guarantee you he has an addiction. He has a problem with gambling. Guarantee you. Because why are you so focused? Because in all reality, why would you let Trigg go outside? This could have been prevented. So the report is stating that it's clear that Brady's attention was divided and he was not watching Trigg at all during the critical times mentioned. So what they recommended, so they are saying criminal negligence and child abuse. So criminal negligence is with respect to the result or to a circumstance described by a statute defining an offense that a person fails to perceive a substantial and unjustifiable risk that the result will occur or that the circumstance exists. The risk must be of such nature and degree that failure to perceive it constitutes a gross deviation from the standard of care that a reasonable person would observe in this situation. Now, child abuse is defined as a child or vulnerable adult to be placed in a situation where the person or health of the child is endangered and is guilty of an offense. So based on the facts, I will be submitting the case to Maricopa County's Attorney's Office for review violating ARS, and then it has the case number. So it's child abuse and child neglect. This conclusion is based on several factors. Brady knew the pool net was on the pool, number 1. He knew Trigg was in the backyard and didn't know how to swim, number 2. According to the video evidence, Trigg was in the backyard unsupervised for more than 9 minutes and in the water for 7 of those minutes. Brady's statements do not match what is seen on the video, and he did not accurately describe one thing Trigg did after he went outside. This leads me to the conclusion that Brady was not aware of what Trigg was doing and was not watching him. The combination of these factors led to Trigg drowning, and a remedy to any of the contributing circumstances could have prevented the outcome. And yet they're not charging him. We're going to go over his phone records really briefly here, but you will see. Let's see. So this was Verizon. Oh, interesting. Okay. Verizon captured content from a few SMS text messages. So at 16:31 hours, the device received a message from your DraftKings verification code. Then at 17:01, hi, it's Capital One. Did you just try to make this purchase from your Platinum card? Declined $54. So he placed a bet and that didn't go through. So then he placed another one for $25. He placed a bet that was $25 wager on Jason Tatum scoring more than 40 points. The wager, so he ended up winning, and so he received $102.50. The wager was placed at 17:14 Arizona time. So again, here's evidence here. So you're saying that the phone, nothing was distracting you. Yes, there was something distracting you. Number one, you weren't sitting exactly where you said you were sitting. Number two, you weren't facing Trigg. You have no idea what Trigg was doing. Number three, you said you weren't on your phone, and you obviously were on your phone. And you also said that you were paying attention to your infant son. I really hope that Child Protective Services looks into this case, because even though he is not going to be charged for child neglect or child abuse, they should be protecting Theodore right now, because this is absolutely ridiculous. This should not be happening right now. It does not matter what you are doing. Nothing should come before your children ever. Your children are first. You should be ashamed of yourself, Brady. Seriously, this is ridiculous. Emilie left and knew that netting was not on the pool. In her own words, Emilie stated that the net was off the pool because they had been swimming in the pool the day before. It doesn't matter. You don't leave the net off the pool. And you also, when people comment on your social media posts and sitting there telling you, get a pool net, get a pool fence, etc., when people see that you have pictures and videos of your pool uncovered and they comment and you delete those comments, there is a problem. You're putting your life out there for the entire world to see. And the entire world is saying, please be careful with your children. And now one of them is gone because of this. So in all reality, Child Protective Services needs to look into this. They need to get out of that house. They need to put a pool fence up. They need to do something other than waiting for views to happen. Who cares what the outside of your house looks like? Who cares? Who cares what's happening on your TV screen? The most important thing was right in front of you. One of them was an infant baby, and the other one was outside drowning in the pool for 2 minutes, and you did absolutely nothing about it besides sit there and watch your game so that you can make sure that you won your bet. I hope that you're satisfied. So this is Shannon with Only Shannon Knows, talking about the truth and bringing to you what really matters. Let's raise awareness around this. Let's raise awareness about addiction. Let's raise awareness about things like this that happen. This needs to stop. The influencing, I guarantee you that the mom influencing that comes in with regards to this needs to stop.